a fun interview or something like that. And speaking of the man in question, up here in the top left-hand side of Stargazers, we do have, from Australia, our Red Zerg representing Legacy. It is NXZ.
And the favorite in this series, he's won this region in the past. Can he do it again? And the right side in the blue, it's Dr. Protoss himself. It is TeebuL. Alright, NXZ's going gas pool opening, so he's looking for something special. Now, this map's pretty great for Nidus and or drops. I wouldn't mind him going for a really quick lair and actually doing either Ling drops, like elevators in the back, or like a Nidus worm and just dropping Ling Queen into the back of the base of TeebuL. Both options, of course. There's lots of different things you can choose to do. If anyone wants to know why, by the way, update on the other side of Group A. Risky's a game up on Seether, and in Game 2, Risky has a 20,000 resource bank, but he just got hit by 4 nukes at the same time across different bases. So if you guys don't get a chance to watch it now, go and check that afterwards. It seems like madness is happening over there to round out Group A. Can't wait to catch back up on that later on today. For now, though, here in this game, it looks like, yeah, this one could be a very special plan for NXZ.
At least I know it's not me, Pig, because every time I cast with Light, there is just shenanigans. It's always a clown fiesta. There's always weird stuff happening in the game. And so far, these games have been pretty normal. So I'm pretty sure it's Light that is the bad luck charm of just clown fiesta games. Probe getting active out on the map. You can see the Zergling having a look for that. And
oh, Roach Warren's on the way there, Pilski. So it looks like a Ling Ravager all in off just 16 drones. Notice the Lings are scouring the map for probe scouts, but I mean, TeebuL, he doesn't have any vision anywhere, does he? Oh, no, there he is. Oh, and he finds it. Good catch by NXZ. Now, TeebuL has to make the read just off the fact that he hunted for his probe so hard. And he needs to full wall his base right now. Oh, is that already a full wall? What? Oh, he already... Wait. He might cancel it, though. He might have just done that as a safety precaution. If he cancels that gateway, then that'll be in big trouble. But if he lets it finish, NXZ is going to have trouble breaking through because he's just going 3 Ravager Mass Zergling, and that's it. Notice the Zerglings come forth, tries to click on the gateway.
He's got an inkling. He's seen something that unsettles him greatly.
I mean, gas pool is so much less efficient, and it leads into so many scary builds, and it denies your scouting. So TeebuL's so smart, man. So many players would just be like, oh, but I don't know if he's all-inning. He might be macroing, and they'd second-guess themselves. TeebuL's like, no chances. I'm taking 0 chances. And the Adept wanted to scout for the gold base, because that's the thing that he needs to keep an eye on as well. He's like, what if he's taking a gold? And that's something which would make TeebuL want to be greedy, but as it is, how many actual units does he have to shoot here? Still going to be hard to defend this. Battery overcharge will be needed to use to heal that gateway. It should be in range. Can't wait too long, TeebuL. Uh-oh, TeebuL used a chrono boost. He might not have battery overcharge. He may have waited too long on this. Okay, There we go. The battery overcharge does come down. Absolutely crucial. That's going to buy him valuable seconds to keep the wall off going. The Cybercore now getting focused, as well as the Stalker. Changing targets to the Stalker. Nicely done by NXZ, but I do think that battery overcharge is just getting insane value. An Adept to Stalker, 2 more Adepts are warping in. The gateway in the wall will be going down. The Biles will land on that pylon. The Stalker gonna fall here, but the Lings have been almost exhausted. Unfortunately for TeebuL, there's no Stargate coming in behind, so there's no Void Ray that's gonna completely shut this down. He's got to defend this with raw units.
Yeah, battery's starting to really dwindle in terms of the HP. A couple of probes getting involved in the action, but he shut down all of those Lings. Only the Ravagers left over for a little bit of punching power. Finally gets rid of that pylon, but another pylon in the back line for safety here, but only one warp gate active. He just can't reinforce this here, Pig.
Yeah, I mean, he tries to wall it off, and he does manage to get that wall off up. I think the Ravagers try to depower that. The Lings are going to go for this pylon, but more units can warp it. He's got to finish that pylon. NXZ has to depower this right now, otherwise warp-ins can get completed here. You see that. The Stalker's coming in, as well as an Immortal from the main base. Here come the Lings, though. One Ravager does fall. That's huge. That's like 1/3 of NXZ's ranged army. Probes are going to be forced to fight, though, and there's only 19 of them left. Dude, decisive all-ins are so powerful. If you don't blink, you don't blink. Even when you see that gateway in the wall and you just say, no, I am committed, it is hard to stop there. TeebuL took some safety precautions, but without a Stargate, that Robo takes so long to reinforce there. And I think he did need to full wall even behind the gateway and the cyber core. So a little unfortunate for TeebuL, but NXZ, dude, I love those reactions.
He looks like he's just got off like a work call, like a Zoom work call, and he's still in his business shirt. And he's like, oh, it's time for my StarCraft game, better load up SC2 and get ready for this game. And look, he's got to finish it off pretty quickly here, Pig, because he's got to probably get back to work after this. It looks like it, and that's a great way to start the series for him.
Actually, I mean, I know he's over in Singapore right now. He must be working over there. It's only 6 p.m. in Singapore. I know the work ethic those Singaporeans have. Any Singaporeans watching? You guys are still watching in the office, aren't you? People, they're working till 5, 6, 7 p.m. easy. So, you know, he's probably ducked out early. He's probably doing conference calls. He's in a Zoom meeting in the background. They're like, why does he look so intense?
Why is he screaming?
Yeah.
There you go. Well, we'll give him a couple of minutes to explain himself to his colleagues and get himself prepared for this next game. We're going to go to a short break, and on the other side of it, second game between NXZ and TeebuL. Don't go too far.
DreamHack StarCraft 2 Masters is brought to you in part by Monster Energy.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
DreamHack Masters StarCraft 2 continues with the second series in here of the day. We're in the Group B, and NXZ finds himself up 1-0 against TeebuL. Not something that I thought I'd be saying. And I have to say, Pig, I don't know what TeebuL could have done better there. Like, you were kind of pointing it out. You know, he was scouting around the map. He was definitely smelling that something was up there, but he just still couldn't hold.
You know, sending the Adept out is actually one of probably the mistake which lost him that game. You could argue there's a few things he could have done better, right? Because that sort of game always looks rough. You're like, come on, man, he couldn't play any safer, right? And you're like, remember, losing the Adept loses you about maybe 35-40% of your damage output. Behind the wall, you need units that can kill Zerglings quickly to really limit the numbers. That's a 16 drone all in. There is not a big reinforcer Ling Ravager. It's just the 3 Ravagers, right? So if you have 2 Adepts and a Stalker rather than 1 Adept and a Stalker, it does do a lot more damage, as silly as that sounds. And then if you quickly warp in another 2 Adepts, that's good. The other big thing I'd already mentioned was the wall off, right? He started building extra batteries behind it, and the first battery overcharge really bought him a lot of time. But I do think what he could have done there was walled off with more gateways and cybercores, bought time for him to just get a few more Stalkers and Adepts behind that wall, and that could have been an absolute game changer. Of course, it's so much simpler if you happen to have gone for a Stargate opening, because the battery overcharge buys you, 20 seconds, and then you got a Void Ray overhead or an Oracle killing everything, and it's like, it's game over from there. When you're playing Twilight or Robo, it's a little bit harder, and Immortal's very expensive to get out, and of course it can get surrounded by those Zerglings. So your wall in and the tiny details of where you place pylons and batteries behind it, it's often game deciding. Every Protoss player knows this lesson of thinking they've done good enough to defend it. It's like, dude, you just needed one more building to keep that wall up for another 10 seconds, and it's a totally different game.
Well, NX said he's done well there. It said he was a prep-oriented player. He's come out there on his map pick with a pretty nasty build, and it's worked out beautifully for him and put him up 1-0. But he's still got work to do. TeebuL's definitely not going to go down without a fight. He's been pretty consistently in the top 4. He's been an event winner, as you mentioned before. So we'll see how he recovers on his map pick heading into... was it Moondance or was Moondance the decider? I can't remember.
Yeah, Moondance is the decider. So this should be Cosmic Sapphire, TeebuL's map pick. And, it's kind of funny because remember I was talking about Stargazers in that last map, and I was like, clearly NXZ has something special planned, and that's going to be a Nidus or a gold base or a drop. And he's like, no, just the old classic Ravager Ling bust, mate. That's it. So defying expectations and, I guess playing against his own image. Up here at the top left side of the map, he's opening up with a proxy hatch in this game. This is NXZ.
And down here in the bottom right-hand side, it would be crazy to not see this man go through the group stage, but if he drops one more map, it's going to be a reality. It's the blue Protoss, TeebuL.
Oh, hatch first. On the ultimate mine. Okay, so NXZ's pretending he's taking a gold base, and he's also going to hatch block TeebuL here with a 3rd hatch, but he's got to go in and do that pretty soon. He's going gas. Interesting. So NXZ sent his drone out for the hatch block way too early here. I think that's a... What? Huh? What is that drone doing? This is some weird... Okay, there is some 400 IQ play happening right now, and I do not understand it, Pilski.
Well, you're getting the cyber core in there. TeebuL definitely... feeling like something's up. That 3rd hatch gets cancelled, and he's going to hatch outside the natural.
Oh, he cancels the third and does that? What in the heck is going on? I mean, it looks like a normal build. So wait, can we check TeebuL's vision? He saw the third hatch on location, right? He saw that one. Now, if he doesn't go back past that, yeah, I mean, he's going to think this is a totally normal game. Oh, wow. Okay, and yeah, NXZ's purposely building drones. Because the other tell here is if you save lava up, he's like, oh, you're doing a rush. So he's going to be building, is it going to be Ravagers from the front or Spines and Queens, I wonder? Oh, my Lord.
We'll see.
What a crazy all-in, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's worked already for him. Oh, TeebuL, he scouts it.
Does he notice? Oh, yeah, it'll show up on the minimap. Oh, that's a bummer. I was wondering if the probe might rally back that way, but it's because he went to the watchtower. He is going for a spine crawler rush. Is NXZ 2 more drones coming over? But the probe will be able to see them coming. No, it goes off the watchtower and does miss them. He doesn't know exactly what's happening yet. He's still probing. I don't think TeebuL realizes exactly what's happening right now. He needs to be building a battery. He needs to be getting defense. He's looking around for extra bases. Oh, he has been tricked. NXZ, this is the ultimate mind game, dude. There's no way you could read this as TeebuL the first time seeing this build because it just defies logic. What you've been shown does not add up to this. Only now discovering it. He's walling off with a forge. Very quick reaction. He realizes this is do or die right now. He has to get cannons, batteries, a re-wall up behind this wall, and he needs to desperately try to hang on.
He's got that Stargate finishing up this time around, though, so that might help him hold this if he's able to buy enough time to get that Void Ray out. Really working on the batteries, really wanting to keep that wall in nice and tight, and as we've said a million times here on Cosmic Sapphire, a little bit easier to hold on to that wall off.
He needs to build more queens, does NXZ. If he doesn't build more queens, Void Rays could hold. It's actually an Oracle first for TeebuL. Cannon's trying to get down as well. If he builds another queen, I think NXZ should win this game, but without it, the Oracle could beat that queen in a 1v1. Oh my god, he's already tearing it down. Is this a re-wall? I think it's a full wall behind that, but no, it's not! Oh, TeebuL with a big mistake. He lets a lot of lings into his main. The Oracle does pop just in time, though. Those lings will go down in the main base after getting... Oh, they get a bunch of probes, though. He's still breaching the natural. This is madness.
Yeah, Cannon's finishing up, though, so that's going to provide a little bit of punching power to start chipping away at these Queen's Trap, chipping away at a couple of the spines here, but they're starting to re-burrow, the creep spreading up closer to the natural. A couple of those spines getting focused down. The first one goes down, Pig.
Oh, battery overcharge does go down. He's already lost one cannon. But look at that, the spines will focus that battery down very quickly. And after that, they can change targets. Still 2 spines left over, but the re-wall is good. TeebuL with a clutch reaction here. And I think that's enough, mate. I think NXZ has to transition from here. He's trying to route his spines further forward, but against 2 cannons, he's going to lose that fight. Especially with the battery there healing. Another cannon coming up behind this. He's trying to tear that pylon down, but he can't get in. NXZ shaking his hands, looks a bit frustrated there. I think he knew he was very close. Maybe if he pulled those lings back and just used them all to break the natural rather than running into the main, could have been a different story there. But that emergency pylon blocking half the lings from getting in, just the quick reaction of full wall forge cannon was very smart from TeebuL.
Yeah, instant drop of the forge, and he was well and truly on top of that. So he's going to recover, and I dare say at this point he's going to be ready for some kind of crazy cheese. Like, he's probably playing very, very safe here in towards game number 3, I would imagine, for TeebuL. Definitely wants none of this nonsense, but definitely going to be one of those series that's getting the heart racing a little bit for both of these players. You can see it visibly for NXZ. At least for TeebuL, the whole time that he's getting cheese there, I'm just watching him, you know, kick ass and chew gum on the cams. He's pretty cool, calm and collected, keeping that one under control.
Man, what a good response here. So yeah, was there... I mean, NXZ maybe was frustrated because he didn't have as good a ling rally as he thought he should have, or his queen was a bit late here with the creep tumor. I don't know. The frustration, there's so many things going on in this build. You never really execute it completely perfectly because there's a lot happening. But look at that, man. That wall being open, big mistake for TeebuL. The lings get in. Yeah, if they turn there, he could have just focused the cannons down.
They just focused the cannons down and...
Yeah.
Would they have gotten them done, though, with the Oracle flying over and the Stalker already there?
I would have killed at least one of them, and he could have potentially broke the pylon as well if he targeted on that with the spines and the lings from both sides as well. Only probably one extra ling from behind, but once the cannon went down, he could have had massive surface area and really got in and surrounded everything. So yeah, I do think probably could have... yeah, I mean, with how close it was, I definitely think that would have been a game changer.
Well, there you go. Bit of an unorthodox build out of NXZ there, and the prep Definitely giving him a puncher's chance to upset in this series, but not quite getting that one across the line. So heading through into a third game here. Like I said, if I'm TeebuL, I'm scouting absolutely everything. I'm cutting absolutely zero corners in terms of my builds, and we'll see what NXZ wants to go for. How much faith do you have in him taking this to a bit of a longer game and trying a bit of a different approach?
I think this is going to be very interesting because it's such a short rush distance map. I mean, NXZ's shown us he's going to bring out something mad. 100%. He's going to have round 3 of just insanity. And it's all about TeebuL. He's going to be paranoid in this game, and rightfully so. So it's all about gathering the information up. Is this the game where NXZ goes 300 IQ and just tries to play a bit of a greedy macro game and then hit kill him in the mid game with a big attack, right? Maybe, but that's dangerous because we've seen how good the Protoss is in those more standard games. Got to keep things weird, keep the strange build orders going. Don't be afraid to mix it up. Down here in the bottom right side of the map in the red, it's NXZ. And that's a 13 pool. Very unorthodox opening here.
And up on the top side of the map, already with the probe heading across the map very quickly here, sniffing out the nonsense. It's the blue Protoss, TeebuL. Hello.
Yeah, now that is not a 12 pool. So with this is like, it's like the 13 pool, it's a more economic version because he gets that drone up a little bit early, gets this hatchery down real quick. And
it's just like the 6 to 8 ling timing, right? Trying to put pressure on the wall, put pressure on that initial attempt at the Nexus, right?
Yeah, and if you can force out like 2 gates and a pylon, I think you're really happy, but TeebuL's very expert with this positioning. He can just go single gate, single cybercore wall off and chrono out zealots, and that allows him to still get the Nexus up pretty quickly. NXZ is still building Zerglings, so it looks like he's going to go for the full complement of 10 Zerglings. So it's going to play out just like a 12 pool, essentially. Gas already going down, though, tells us NXZ wants to follow up with something dirty. It's a very quick gas. Like, it doesn't have to be. It could just be Ling speed, but most likely a Bane bust, a Ravager bust, or some sort of Ling flood to follow up. We'll see. Will TeebuL get delayed on his natural all that long? Gateway does have a fair bit of surface area on that right side. 5 probes have been pulled, though, so the Zealots and the probes will be able to fight this together. And let's see how this goes. The Zerglings on the left, their job is to wrap around and stop the Zealot pulling back into the choke point if he comes out to fight, but he waits for the second Zealot, and NXZ needs to get out of there. He should not be taking this fight. Great fight for TeebuL, gets 2 Zerglings for free, and it might have only been 1. He's still massing Lings?
Yeah, still going Lings. Haven't seen a single drone in the production tab, so...
Is that a probe in NXZ's third, though? I think there's a probe on the map, right?
You can come in for the late scout, have a little bit of a look at what's going on. But with the Overlord heading over there, he should probably clean that up.
He should. He's coming in, though. If that probe sees things, that'll be huge. The Zerglings get a good wraparound. They get a fair bit of damage, but not enough. Oh, almost a great surround. Turns into an absolute massacre. The probe just went in, and it also saw, I think, no workers on the natural. I think the Queen just killed it. If we click on that Queen, she should have 1 kill now. And yeah, she does. So she took out the probe, but the probe probably already saw that there was no workers on the mineral line. That crazy Zergling move kind of gave things away. I think TeebuL is solid right now. And if he full walls behind that front Zealot, there's just no way you're getting in here as NXZ. Stargate's halfway built. This is feeling very all in. NXZ starts 2 drones, but he's on 12 workers versus 25. There is no transition out of this unless he finds big damage.
See if he can make use of the links that he's already invested in. The Zealot's actually getting active out on the map. That might be an opportunity for a bit of a surround here for NXZ.
Yeah, that definitely could be a mistake. Nexus isn't up on the natural as well. If he goes in right now and just clicks on the gate and the core, halflings on each, I think he breaks in. The Oracle's only now starting. NXZ waiting for Ling speed. Oh my god, and the depth's moving out. The Overlord sees it. He's got to go. He's got to go. Right now is his moment. The Zealot's here. He can't hide it any longer. NXZ, if he goes right now, he might get in. The Oracle is not out yet. And TeebuL wanting to counter pressure. Has he given this away? The battery and the Adept will hold firm for a while. Again, I think the Nexus will finish just in time to battery overcharge. He's got to heal that gateway. Good re-wall from TeebuL.
Yeah, just keeping himself alive for a little bit longer. Really trying to build a bit of a Sim City to stop these Lings getting in. The battery keeping that Adept nice and healthy. Out comes the Oracle to start zapping away at some of these Lings in the meanwhile. And it's looking like TeebuL's got this under control.
Looking like it. Battery overcharge comes in. Those Lings need to pull back. You can't sit under the Oracle. It just does so much damage when it's stationary. It gets all these extra attacks when it doesn't have to move and shoot in between, basically. It just has, there's a weird kind of way the mechanic on the Oracle works. If it's ever allowed to sit still and shoot, it has some of the craziest damage output in the entire game. The Zergling's there coming in for round 2. I think he's got to go right now. The Oracle's out of energy, so he does have a chance. There's only one Adept behind this, but the Lings are sitting back. NXZ is trying to drone up. He's going to try and turn this into a bit of a longer game. I would have loved to see him continue to try to breach this wall. With only one Adept and no battery overcharge, I think he could have torn down a lot of these buildings very cost efficiently.
Yeah, but now these warp gates are done. Getting 3 more Adepts, and this is where TeebuL, I mean, I'm looking at a fair few Adepts. I'm looking at the Oracles. He could definitely start putting on the counter pressure here. NXZ, couple of spores for safety at least, but outside of that, I mean, like you said, pretty far behind economically, and this is where you can keep chipping down those workers, just zapping away at a couple of drones with the Oracles every now and then.
Yeah, massive worker lead right now. TeebuL can take a third for free in the back as well. Oracle's finding a couple more workers there is huge. NXZ has got a third hatchery started. The Spore Crawler in both bases, stopping catastrophic damage going down. But it's, of course, the catastrophic damage has been done to himself by simply massing Zerglings rather than drones. I do wish he'd kept committing on that wall off and tried to get something else. Obviously, TeebuL could have been warping in units. I don't think it would have won in the game, but overall, it all comes back to the fact that NXZ tried with that first pack of Zerglings to get in there and wasn't able to do so. And in general, all inning against this natural choke point, it's a very easy wall off, and the re-wall was just perfect for TeebuL. His pylon positioning was on point this game.
Working on more gates for TeebuL and finishing up an Immortal. Not seeing too much pro production. Still haven't seen that third getting dropped. Is he going to go in on the backswing here? He's chronoing out that Prism Pig.
Yeah, I think it's a good strat. Immortal Sentry, bunch of just unupgraded Zealot Adepts. Probably add some Stalkers once he's on the front. Why not? You know your opponent can't have the material to deal with this. You know he's been holding the drone key down, greedily trying to recover. NXZ's trying to make a Baneling Nest to get back in this. But yeah, this is a desperate situation for him. Lings do try to run in on the counter. They could have focused one of those down, maybe, as of course warping units can't get healed by the shield batteries. But look at this, just beautiful play. An Adept left behind the wall. Warpins continuing across this map. TeebuL with 46 army supply versus 28.
Yeah, the Adepts, the Zealots make mincemeat of all those Lings. There's just nothing there for NXZ, and he gave us a very entertaining series, and he very nearly was